What's up everybody, a Sparrow with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Inspiration series. We're starting things off today with the Cepheus S50 Taurus. No idea if I got that right, but we're going to move on. So this one is an interesting build. I actually really like the overall hull design profile here. It reminds me of a ship, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it is. I think it's a Star Wars ship, possibly Old Republic, and it's like, it would basically be where these knees? No, I don't know what the plural of nose is. I just realized this. Let's go with noses. It's like these tips. The front tips here, if they went further out, and then they could fold up while the center fuselage stayed horizontal. I don't know what ship that is, but that's what I'm thinking of, whatever it is. So if you guys know what it is, feel free to let me know in the comments. But this is an exploration ship, and I really just honestly like the design of it. Like, I really didn't pay too much attention to color scheme or anything like that. I really just was caught by the hull design and stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cool, you know. There are some really neat things with it. For example, it does have a couple of emergency parachutes, as well as a bay for rovers and other things like that. I believe the description said the only thing it didn't have for terms of like exploration and survival was a full refinery, I believe. But it is designed as an exploratory vessel. With a very nicely clear indicated, we're not going to worry about the air vents, ramp door here. Very happy about that. And again, it doesn't look like it's like any particularly large ship per se. I mean, aside from the whole large grid thing. But, so I'm not entirely sure how much interior we're going to have to look at. I do like this here. Well, a couple things here. One, I like the archway type shape with the blue grates kind of thing. It gives it kind of that hangar, like garage kind of feel. But I like how they tied this to a central one that actually does have a glass covering. I think that was that bubble on the middle top section. Yeah, it looks like it. I don't know if there's a way to get up there from here. I mean, like, on that, like a second floor, or if that's just for lighting and whatnot, but it's still really cool. I do kind of like that one. Okay, so then we ended up with a very cool bridge. Not saying that because it looked very similar to the Shooting Star Bridge or anything. It's totally coincidental and unrelated. But a really cool bridge type setup. Again, I don't know how much of an interior space we have to look through. Let's give it a look here. We've got some vents and stuff. I'm guessing this would be a bunk. Now, one thing to point out is this has no DLC, no mods, no scripts. Basically, it's straight vanilla as far as I can tell from the description and whatnot. So, because of that and not using DLC, we don't actually have a bunk there. I suppose if you had the DLC, you could easily convert that to one of the new beds. There are a couple of cryo chambers up here, though, so that's cool. And we do actually have a second floor. Cool. So this is an actual observatory type area. I'm a big fan of those. Really like observatory type setups. We've got what looks like engineering. Also, I like the color coding. That, like anything engineering, we've got reactors, gyroscopes, gravity. You know, they're all kind of this yellow color, which I can't say that I enjoy that as much for aesthetics as much as functionality. I think it's really cool because if you needed to repair something, or if you have a new, like me or you guys downloading this, it's very clear what things are what. It's like, that's functional, that's mechanical, or that's engineering. So I like that idea, I like that style. So we got a couple extra hidden gyros in there. I'm guessing this is designed as a survival idea because of this in here. Like, there's no real purpose to this room other than a maintenance access to these two gyroscopes if they were damaged. So whenever I see, like, tons of maintenance hatches and things to make sure that every, like, functional part is accessible, I start thinking that it was built with, like, a survival, not just to be pretty or something, but, like, an actual survival functionality in mind. Okay, so, wait, what is going on here? That's gotta be from the build view or something. Some kind of mod that I have going on, right? I don't think that was... I mean, it even hugs into the HUD there. What is that from? That's really interesting. That's pretty cool. So, we've got... So it's kind of just a readout panel. I don't know what that's from. If you guys know if that's part of the build vision or build info, because I think I'm using both of those, if they update it or something, or if it's one of the text APIs that either of those use, let me know, because that's pretty much all the mods I'm using. It's like build vision, build info, the necessary dependent mods for those, like the API HUD and stuff, and then just the sneaky tools that makes tools quieter and stuff like that. So it's something from one of those, but that's really, really handy. So we've got turrets, toggle, thrusters, toggle, camera view, parachute, spotlights, hangar doors, jump drive, connector on the bottom, and landing gear. These are interesting. It's set to on, but it looks like they're almost... Oh, all 48. This is all 13. Oh, it's giving me a number of how many is in the group. That's... I gotta figure out where this came from. That's really cool. That's super helpful, because I was gonna say the all... I thought 48 on... I'm like, are these overwritten? How does that work? So we got thrusters backward, decoys, ore detectors, antennas, hydrogen tanks, reactors, batteries, hydrogen... Okay, so nothing real important. I suppose it's also possible that the game updated and this is a new feature, but I'm more suspicious that there's a mod that got updated. Anyway, moving on. So for a flight test... Whew, okay. This thing accelerates. I don't know about fuel efficiency and whatnot, but this thing gets up and goes. That's super... and it moves really well. This is almost like a fighter in terms of... It'd be like a heavy fighter in terms of acceleration and maneuverability. Really cool. Definitely like this one. Alright, so with that, we're going to wrap this one up, and let's move on to the next one. Okay, now this one was a little bit of an interesting build that I wanted to do, which was the Class 3 Enclosed Heavy Lifeboat from Halo. Now, I didn't read over the description entirely, but it's a lifeboat, so I kind of got the gist of what it was doing. Now, I will admit, when I first picked this build, the description, or well, not so much the description as much as the screenshots, I looked and I thought this was a two-part build, which is why I thought it was interesting at first. Because in the picture, I believe these flaps are extended and then the pod is facing the other direction, and because the way it was lined up, it looked like the pod docked to a ring, not unlike the starfighter from, or the Jedi starfighter from Star Wars. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then when I pasted it in, it was just this, and I was like, wait, where's the base? Like, where's the... And then I looked at the picture again, I'm like, oh, it's the back with the fins. Okay, well, that's different than I expected. However, that also made me kind of look at it a little closer and go, well, that's kind of cool that it's got functional fins and things like that. And I started looking at some of the details and I thought it was still worth showing off, and I thought it was still a neat idea of a build. So for one thing, I love this entry. Like I don't know how this design... I mean, I guess it's not all that complex, it's just like the idea of it just, it just works. Like, you've got the blast door blocks kind of thing to give it a little bit of a different kind of look, and then you got the kind of hexagon? Maybe octagon. I'm not sure if it's hexagon or octagon. Anyway, the kind of shape with the lights, and it looks really cool. I'm gonna move on now. Okay, so, and then, oh, we've got a button. So, okay, that's cool. Oh, wow, that actually merges really well. That's cool. I like that door. I like that door a lot. So we got a piston down there, blast door, yeah, that works. That's cool. And then we've got all the different seats. Small battery with a little bit of a cargo container there. I don't know if that's just like emergency or whatnot. Alright, so we've got air brakes for reverse. Air brakes detach. Ooh, that's fun. Toggle engines and door. So we already did the door. We don't really need to mess with that. We'll turn... Nope. That is the door. Okay. We'll turn on the thrusters. Man, it maneuvers really well. I mean, it's funny because I think the description said something like, "Are you ready to fly like a brick?" And I was like, well, I was expecting it not to even have lateral thrusters or something, and this actually flies really well. Alright, so let's slow down a little bit, and then we're going to test out the air quote air brakes. I'm going to be thoroughly impressed if these actually are like other thrusters or something. That would be super cool, but I'm pretty sure they're just cosmetic. It does look like they're just cosmetic. Now, for future reference for you guys that like retracting wings and stuff as much as I do think it'd be doable to do some kind of thruster override with a script or a timer block and actually make air brakes. Like, you extend those and then more thrusters come on or something like that. I mean, obviously it's not the aerodynamic air brakes of, you know, just slowing you down from drag, but... you know, it would be kind of cool in Space Engineers to do that. It does seem to affect the... maybe it doesn't. I was going to say it affects the turning and stuff. It wobbles a bit more, but it's actually not really doing that. So that might just be seeing the wiggle of the wings. And then I suppose right before you're about to hit, you can detach the wings and... the camera screws up, so there goes the wings. That's pretty cool. And then you can actually land. Does it have landing gears, or is it just... no, I think this is the old school Halo that's just the crash pod, basically. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so that one was a little bit of a smaller, shorter one, but I do think it was a really cool design, very well made, too, as far as the shape and design and details and stuff. It wasn't just like a long bullet kind of thing. It actually works. But yeah, so I think that's going to do it for this one. Let's move on to the last one. Alright, so last but not least we have the SDS S.M.O.L. carrier, which is a ship manufacturing and operating lodging something or other. It's a very long, detailed name, and actually you can see it right there. I didn't even notice that. Also, one thing I wanted to point out is it's actually kind of storming at my house right now, so if you hear rumbling or clattering in the background or something, if I can't cut it out or something, that's probably what's going on, so just ignore it if you wouldn't mind, please. But yeah, so this is a very interesting build, in my opinion, because it's essentially a carrier designed to build ships and then deploy them. Now, it doesn't have any weapons whatsoever because as a carrier it's designed to be escorted by other ships and whatnot. But I really like some of the aesthetic things too. Just the little like neon things with the custom texture and letterings. It's just really cool. Like, there's like a cool vibe going on with this build, especially the color scheme and stuff. It's kind of like this uniform kind of style that I think is really cool. I like it a lot. It's a little bit smaller than I thought it would be in the from the screenshots and things like that, but I'm wondering if because there was a lot of different images of like the interior and other things like that, so I'm wondering if it's just one of those where it's just kind of maximizing space and whatnot. So let's find out, shall we? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's cool! They're using, like, textures. Cycle with delay, cycle without delay. That's awesome! That's awesome. So if this... technically this is a vanilla build, so I guess the custom textures are just kind of saved into the blueprint? I don't know. Oh, right. I was all excited about the buttons. What happens if I just hit this one? Okay, so it just cycles them. Interesting. So, click. Oh, and that's probably what the cycle with delay and stuff is to give it time to vent as well as open. That's cool. I really like that. That's pretty neat. Okay, so we've got an upwards area here. I love the color scheme in this. Not the yellow per se, because I'm not the biggest fan of yellow, but just the style of having the little neon tubes everywhere. There's certain things that have the glowy texture on them with the lines and all that stuff. It's just really cool. Like, it's just laid out very well. So I'm guessing this is the actual bridge flight seat area. There was a cockpit down there, which might actually be this door here. Yep. I'm assuming this is going to actually control the blueprint thing. I'm not really sure what this one is for. Where is it? Programmable block, SDS OS run, and then it says WASD 2, so maybe that gives WASD controls? Maybe? I'm not too sure. We've got camera right and left, and it looks like it's actually right and left of like the whole ship. I'm thinking this is going to be the... Maybe not. Let's try it. Screw it. What does that do? I don't feel like I have any WASD controls over whatever I'm doing. Okay. Not sure what that's for. Probably doing it wrong. I kind of have a standing policy that if something doesn't work right, I first blame user error over not being functional, because there's probably something you have to turn on or turn the printer on or something like that, and I'm not doing it. This is pretty cool. We've got, looks like an inventory readout and stuff. I like that. And again, kind of just the catwalks with the neon lights, with the propaganda signs, and over the mess area with a glass thing. Like, I just like the aesthetics of this. It's just cool. We got the, and I think this is what we're looking at. I think somebody told me this is a wasteland texture that's recolorable, or maybe that's, I think. They were telling me that on a different build from last episode, but I think this is the same one, but I could be wrong. What's the thing? Is it Shift P? Is that where you get the whatnot battered armor? Is that what it's... Is that what it has selected right now? So maybe that's what they were talking about. I'm not sure. But it looks good. Whatever it is, it looks good. It matches this aesthetic very well. That's kind of cool. I'm guessing that's a custom one as well, because that looks like it's actually the actual build. So that's pretty cool. So we've got kind of the... It looks like crew quarters-ish kind of area, although there's only one bed. I mean, this doesn't exactly strike me as a very huge build or anything. Oh, here's more crew quarters. Okay, so there is a few more people. Because I was like, it's not exactly huge, but I would think it would need to be at least one or two, like more than one or two people, I would have thought. We got a med room there. I think that's most of the interior, actually. I think the bigger claim to fame, so to speak, with this particular build is going to end up being the fact that it can print ships, which is kind of cool. Now, I do think it's small ships. I think there's a limit to what it can do. What do we got here? Module welders, sensor weld safety toggle, connector module, switch lock, and merge module. Okay. Okay. I don't see... I'm not sure if I'll be able to test this out or not. If you have to have a specific, like, you know, it's loaded up for a blueprint or anything. And I don't see an actual, like, engage. Actually, you know what? I'm just looking at this. I don't see a projector anywhere. There's no projector controls for anything, so maybe it's not connecting them. I'm confused. This has me confused. Okay, so there's the connector module. That's what it was. Oh, okay. So I did have to download a second module, which is this part right here. This I don't know if it'll actually give it the whole... Yeah, it's a picture in the whole build. Okay, never mind. But basically, the connector and the merge block is a separate module, which was like the printer module or something to that effect. So... the welders are now on, it would seem, I believe. Yeah, okay. Let's... I don't know what the safety toggle is, but we're gonna push it, because why not? Oh, it's a sensor thing, I think, so if you're in that proximity. Interesting. Oh, no, I actually want to keep that on, because I think those two are going to be this down here, so we don't want to mess with that. Alright, so where's the printer, then? I'm a little confused by that. So we have that. I'm intrigued. Alright, let's just, let me poke around here for a second. Okay, so I think I found it. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using it correctly, but there's a small little tugboat type ship down here that has the projector pod on it, which is pretty cool. And it's got this cool little merge block thing. Really excited about that. I think that's really cool. I need to look into that more. The only thing that's a little weird is it's upside down, so I'm not sure how that's supposed to work, but I went ahead and configured to use the shooting star just as a test, and I maneuvered it around to be properly located type of thing. So we're on the first hotbar, so we're going to go ahead and turn the ion thrusters on, I think? Or wait, no. These. So there's like an all, I think. There we go. That's better. And we'll go ahead and unlock the connector, and we'll disable the merge block. And can we turn the connector off? I wonder. Because it doesn't seem to be... I'm thinking I'm still held. I'm not sure. It's not wanting to go anywhere. Alright, so let's... Oh, wait, let's try this. If we go into the remote block of this, we will turn off the connector, and then... Oh, no. Man, I still can't move. What is going on? I'm a little confused. Let's turn these down, I guess. I'm not really sure what's holding me in place at this point, because it's just not... Like, I'm just not going anywhere, kind of thing. But the connector's off, and the merge block is off. Let's... Nope, both of them are off. Okay. Well, the only other thing I can think of is this... It's seen as a base. Okay, it pasted it in that way for some reason, not sure why. There we go. Okay, so let's turn these back up. They were like at 15 or something like that. And we'll spin this around. Now, I've never done like the ship printing stuff, so I don't really know how this is supposed to work. I think the welders are on, so we're just gonna try this. I don't think it's gonna work all that well. Oh, that's why it's upside down, so that it actually can be right side up. Got it. Alright. Where... There was a camera on here, I thought. Unless that was on the dock. Oh, that was on the dock. Never mind. I can't figure out the view, though. Like, I'm in third-person view, and just clicking V, I end up upside down for some reason. It's really annoying. I don't know why that's working that way, but it's really aggravating in my opinion. Now, I don't know how this works exactly, so like I said, we're just going to play around with it a little bit and see how it works, or if it works, and go from there, because, yeah, I don't really know what I'm doing. So I think it has to be part of a grid, doesn't it? I'm also thinking I might not have supposed to have disconnected it. I may have supposed to have left it that way and then built it, because it doesn't seem to want to connect without being connected to that particular grid. But we'll also turn this off just to see if that helps, but it doesn't seem to be doing anything. So I think we're just going to go... Yeah, it's supposed to work. I'm probably doing it wrong. I've never used one of these ship printers before, so I'm pretty sure I'm doing it wrong. But yeah, the idea is essentially you either use this with it attached or figure out a better way to do it the way you're supposed to do it with it not attached, and you hover it or connect it to this and you end up welding it. That's the theory, I suppose. But with that, I think we're going to wrap things up here for today. I hope you all enjoyed. Oh, you know what? Never mind. I'm completely forgetting. I'm an idiot. We didn't even test out the way this flies. We always give it a flight test. My bad. I was about ready to wrap it. You guys were probably like, wait a minute. We haven't even seen it fly yet. Okay. Also, probably would have been a good idea to look at this control system, because probably has some other controls in here that I didn't think about. Like the WASD ones. There's got to be something in here that uses WASD controls. Maybe it's the adjustment of the projector when the little tugboat is docked, that you can use that to move things around or something. But something is definitely using these... this script. So, anyway, we're going to, looks like all these connectors, I'm not sure what all they do. We've got refineries, merge blocks. We're not going to mess with any of that. Let's just give it a flight test and kind of see how it flies. Now, obviously, it got pasted as a ship as well, or as a station as well. My bad. Actually, for the size and everything, it moves pretty good. The acceleration is pretty on point, and it turns really sharp. I'm kind of impressed by the overall functionality of the ship. So now, with that, we're going to wrap things up here for today. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like, click the subscribe button, and ring the notification bell, and any other buttons you find that look pretty and you just feel like pushing them. Other than the dislike button. Don't do that one. I mean, if you didn't like... I mean, you can, but I'd appreciate it if you didn't. So, anyways, we're going to wrap things up here for today, and I will see you all next time. Peace.